Is it awesome? Hello there, YouTube. This is a review in my ballpark. As a role-playing game writer, it was only a matter of time before I reviewed a role-playing game. I've done a lot of written reviews of role-playing games in the past, but it's about time I came on camera and did a review. Now, what better place to start? RPGPundit's Gnomemurdered. Let's have a look, shall we? Now, before we start, just a little disclaimer. Yes, I am well aware of RPGPundit's pretty poor review. I mean, he gave me a poor review. It was a bad review, it was a good review, but he gave me a poor rating for Courtesans. I am well aware of it. I posted on that thread, in fact. And I'm not going to let it affect my judgment of Gnomemurdered. I had this planned well before that review was released. And yeah, I don't think it will affect me positively or negatively, because I'll just speak my mind as I usually do. System. Well, I have stated on many occasions I like simple, and you don't get much simpler than Gnomemurdered. The rules can be summed up as this. Roll a six-sided dice, d6. 1 to 3, you're fine. 4 to 6, you get murdered by gnomes, create a new character. Now, of course, there is a disclaimer on this that you only ever make the Gnomemurdered check when you're doing something that's beyond your usual ability. So within your usual ability, it's just automatic. That's quite interesting. I like the idea that it can be some kind of sort of free-form. It seemed like a free-form game, and then suddenly you're informed if you want to do that, you have to warn them. If you want to do that, you have to make a Gnomemurdered check. And you fail it, and the gnomes kill you. And this is, you may think, with the rules are that simple, why is the book this big? Well, there's a simple reason for that. Basically, the rules are a tiny fraction of what's in the game. Most of it is ideas for settings and genres, and I'll go into that in the settings. But there is a character creation system whereby you select what you basically write a background for your character, and you say what they are capable of. Yeah, there's a bit of combat. It's not really, it doesn't really have much of a mechanical effect. All these things you're added onto your character, but it's there if you want to go into a bit more detail. So it's a very simple system, lots of fun. I can imagine this this being a bit like Paranoia, where you constantly go through again and again and again new characters. The only problem I can see, create your characters before you start. Have about 6 or 7 of them, just in case. Because I know, certainly with my bad dice luck, I'd be really awful at this game. I'd probably have 12 characters prepared, because I'm notorious for my bad dice luck. Anyway, on to the setting. The setting is a toolbox, and that is, you can make the setting your own, and really I think it's probably the most versatile toolbox I have ever seen in a role-playing game, and I say that seriously. I know this is a comedy game, and I tend to take piss in my reviews, but I say that seriously. It's brilliant for playing whatever you want to play, from your sort of average mortal level up to gods. And there are examples given of each in various genres, various power levels, and all the time you're being stalked by gnomes who want to kill you. Yeah, that's the one consistent thing throughout all the various different settings you can apply. That is, there is this interdimensional conspiracy of gnomes who are out there to steal underpants, kill people, and they're just nasty creatures of pure evil. Um, and as much as Pundit will probably get at me for disparaging the very real and a threat of the gnomes, I think this is a great little knock at sort of conspiracy games and wild conspiracy theories. It's just taking this sort of thing that's got this kind of cutesy image, the god gnome. I know some people find them creepy, but it's a bit like clowns. But they have this really cutesy image, and you're making them into the villains. Not only villains, but interdimensional, homicidal, insane abominations against nature. It's just brilliant. It just shows up how sort of crazy conspiracy theories can get, and you can certainly, although this is clearly a comedy game, you can certainly play this with a relative degree of seriousness. It's not just taking the piss when he says, "Oh, this is about very real. This is a very real and serious issues." In a way, it is, because you're taking the mickey out of how the stupidest ideas can be made ever so real, and it's frightening. Now, my taste in art is not going to be particularly conventional, but I have one kind of rule of thumb, which is it's got to match the tone of the book. And Gnomemurdered does this perfectly. It's it's in the kind of a sort of a grim fairy tales vibe to it, and because the grim fairy tales were pretty nasty, gory, and in their original form, and sort of dark, this works perfectly, making these normally very cutesy characters into these psychopathic murderers conspiring to overthrow the multiverse. And I really like the look of the art, and it fits. There's chapter heading art, and there's the odd bit of sort of filler art here and there, and every page has a beautiful border in the kind of grim fairy tale style. As for how tables and text are set out, there is only one column. There's no use of two columns, which is more traditional in a role-playing game, but I think that works to Gnomemurder's favour. In fact, anybody who does this format goes to their favour because of the fact that e-readers, reading on a computer screen, whatever you're doing, because a lot more sales are made in PDF these days. If you're reading on a screen, you don't want to keep having to flick up and down the screen. And when you've got one column, that's catered for. It's a completely different debate, and I won't go into it here. Maybe a future video, but yeah. So that's the layout and the So, what do I think of Gnomemurdered? I think it's a great game for. People keep saying this about comedy games, and it is a cliche, but it's a great game as a filler game between longer campaigns. I can't see this working as a campaign because of the fact that the joke may get stale if it's overused. But as a one shot where you just randomly select a setting and you're being murdered by gnomes, it can work. I think it can work very well. Would I play it myself? Thing is, I have so little time actual gaming because my group's forever coming up with excuses not to meet, or other certain members are. So I kind of have to sort of prioritize playtesting of my stuff. But I really want to have a go at this sometime, either as a games master or as a player. I don't mind because it looks like a lot of fun, a lot of silly fun what you can have with its rather sort of strange undertones of paranoia and conspiracy. So yeah, I quite like it. Let me know in your comments below what you think, and see you soon.